I want to go to Rick Grenell. Rick, join us, our Senior Advisor for National Security and Foreign Policy. I mean, Rick, this admission by the National Archives that there's 9 more boxes that they got from Joe Biden's attorneys that were taken out of the Penn Biden Center before the FBI got to look there, before the classified documents were given over, and they haven't opened them. They haven't looked at the boxes. I mean, that was their official statement today to the press when this story started breaking.
Well, what's really unbelievable is that, remember, these boxes are either coming from Senator Joe Biden or Vice President Joe Biden, not President Biden. That's a distinction because he does not have the ability to declassify information like Donald Trump does, or like Donald Trump did. And so what is really important to note here is that they are not being transparent. This is a drip, drip, drip of more boxes, more information. They did not have a strategy of going in to every possible location and seizing and searching everything, including closets of Joe Biden, which is exactly what they did with Donald Trump. So we go back to the same old thing, Jordan, where the weaponization of government by the left on conservatives continues. It's hypocritical and it's massively inappropriate because they do not have the same rules for themselves. And that's where the credibility of DOJ and FBI and all of these people investigating this subject, they have a huge credibility problem with the American people, and they just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I just don't understand, Rick, is it doesn't make sense. There's special counsels involved here. And why it's weird that National Archives didn't just say, well, that's up to the special counsel. I mean, but they have to, they actually still are the guardians of these records. If the special counsel that's investigating Biden wanted access to them, you would go to the National Archives. They didn't indicate that. They didn't say, well, this is this is being taken over by the special counsel, which leads you to believe too. Is, again, Donald Trump gets treated differently, and I pointed this out. It's not even Republicans. It's Donald Trump gets treated differently than everyone else in this situation.
Well, it's the ends justify the means. They do not want the outsider coming in. Donald Trump has demonstrated that he is completely the outsider from Washington, D.C., doesn't play by their rules, doesn't care about the same things that they care about. And so, therefore, they are trying to destroy him because he is effectively implementing a reform package in Washington, D.C. Look, the place doesn't want to be reformed. It's like trying to go to Los Angeles and trying to reform Hollywood. They're going to try to kill you before they let the place be reformed. But Donald Trump has demonstrated that he's relentless, that he is taking every hit and turning it around, and he continues to beat them at their game. I believe that they are very nervous about Donald Trump coming back and knowing what he knows now, how quickly he could implement reforms.
Yeah, I wanted to go to a second issue, Rick, which we've seen this testimony in the withdrawal from Afghanistan. It's pretty troubling when you look at it. It's that this report that a veteran, a Marine sergeant who was a sniper team and was assisting the evacuation of the airport, and testified that they had the ability to take out one of those terrorists, and they could not get the authority to take the shot. I mean, so we're learning even more still. I mean, a lot of these issues that come up, and people start, it's after a couple months of it being a hot topic. But because of House Republicans, we're starting to get a lot more information here about why 13 Americans were killed.
Yeah, we really need to encourage these House Republicans to continue their work, to keep fighting, because they're starting to overturn rocks that have a lot of information in it. So we all need to be encouraging our legislators to keep up the transparency. This testimony yesterday was heartbreaking, Jordan. I found myself really emotionally invested in what America stands for and how many young men and women signed up to really be representatives of the United States in ways that is really humbling for the rest of us. But we owe it to them to have transparency. We owe it to them to have a government that has their back, that is willing to be honest about the mistakes that were made. This is now all coming to light, seeing the parents have some sort of a relief that this is beginning to happen. It's just the beginning, but I think that this is years late, and it just demonstrates just how weak the Pentagon has been and was through this process.
Rick, as always, I appreciate all of your insight into this.